Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about installing these off-road lights on your truck. And with an off-road vehicle like the Ram RHO or a Ford Raptor, they come pre-wired for lights like this. Now these lights were given to me by a company, and I'll put the link down in the description, but I wanted to get amber lights on the front of this truck for low visibility conditions. So these lights will help out when I am driving through dust or when I'm driving through fog. And I got 4 of them, but it turned out that I only needed 2. And so I did not put the amber covers on the center lights, and I think it looks better this way. Now when wiring these in, you have the option of using a white daytime running light or an amber daytime running light. And the white daytime running light matches the Ram RHO daytime running lights, and the amber one would match the Ford Raptor. So you can change that depending on how you wire it in. And I'll go over that in a second. But with this truck, the best way to install these lights was actually to weld on some prefabricated light tabs, and it made the install very quick and easy. It takes about 30 minutes. The first thing that you do is you put down your masking tape, you measure out where you want to place the brackets, you grind the steel bumper, you weld them on, and then paint them, and then you bolt them on. It's a very simple install, and I'm going to go into detail here on how to do it with this truck. So first we're going to unbox the lights. Here we are opening up the box, and inside we have some packaging that we need to remove. First, we're going to take a look at the manual. Inside you will see some drawings and specifications on the lights that you have. Next, we're going to take a look at our wire harness. These are light covers, and this is a hardware kit for the lights. And these are the lights themselves. The first step for installing is to lay down the painter's tape. And I use painter's tape so that I can draw on it to mark where I want to install the brackets. Now I want to mark 4 equidistant points along the front bumper, and then get the brackets out and actually trace them onto the bumper so I know exactly where to grind. After I grind, I check the fitment for welding before I proceed with the welding. Then I weld them onto the bumper. Next we're going to wire brush the tabs and paint them, and then we're ready to install. When mounting the lights, be sure to use the included rubber pad between the light tabs and the lights themselves, and this is for vibration. Alright, so this is our wiring relay setup here, and you'll see that we have our ground and our 12 volt positive. We have 2 connectors for the lights. We have a relay, a fuse, and a switch. This switch allows you to turn on the daytime running lights or the actual lights, and you can switch between amber and white daytime running lights with the switch. But we're going to go ahead and cut the wiring off and wire into the aux switches on the Ram. Before I cut the wire harness, I'm going to plug it into the lights and actually run it up to where it's supposed to be wired into the Ram. Then I'm going to decide where to make my cut. After you cut your harness, you have 4 wires in here. The black is your ground. The red is the positive 12 volt wire, and this will go to the pink wiring in the Ram. The pink wires are wired to the auxiliary switches in the Ram, and they will provide the positive 12 volts to turn the lights on. These 2 wires control the daytime running lights. If you want white daytime running lights, you would use the white wire, and if you want the amber ones, you would use the yellow wire. In my case, I'm only using the white wire, and I'm wiring it into auxiliary switch 6. Alright, so this is the auxiliary switch wiring in the Ram, and those switches are in the center console. This is the breakdown of which switch goes to where. So the dark blue wire here goes to switch 1, and the dark green goes to switch 2. And so I'm going to wire the amber lights right here. These 2 are going to switch 1. The center ones are going to switch 2. And then the daytime running lights on all of the lights are going to go to switch 6. And I am wiring in the white daytime running lights, but you can also wire in amber daytime running lights if you want. For connecting the wires, the best method here is to use a solder seal connector. I'll put a link in the description, but you just heat them up with a heat gun and they seal and solder the wires together. Alright, so this is nicely sealed up. I'm going to wrap electrical tape around it, and the solder is melted into the wires, so that will keep it all together. Alright, now we're going to wire this. This one is going to go into the dark green wire. So again, these are my white lights. And dark green wire we're going to pull out of the bundle right here. We're going to clip it first. Now we're going to strip it. Then we're going to strip my red wire here. And then I'm going to get, this is a soldering connector. And so it has built-in solder in the connector. All you have to do is apply heat. It's probably the easiest way to do this. Can't get this thing off. There we go. All right, so put this on your wire first. The solder, melt the solder onto the joint. This will seal it up. You'll actually see the solder melt into the wires there, and that's how you know that you're good. You can test the connector to make sure it's solid. But both of ours are wired in now. We are going to wrap this in electrical tape just to make sure the connection is secure. I'm now going to combine my two ground wires and connect them to the post here. And then I'm also going to combine my white wires for the daytime running lights. For grounding the lights, there are a couple posts up front in the corner, and so you need a 10mm socket, and then you can use a ring terminal and just connect it right here like this. Now we're ready to show off the lights. So this is with the daytime running lights only, and I connected these lights to auxiliary switch 6. And this is with all of the lights on, and these are connected to switch 1 and 2. The amber lights are on switch 1, and the white lights are on switch 2. Now that is it for the installation. And when driving at night, these lights are exceptionally bright, and they go much further than the stock headlights and brights. That is all I have for you. Thank you for watching, and make sure that you enjoy your truck.